Imagine discovering a massive stone city, hidden among the hills of southern Africa. Towering walls, ancient towers, a thriving civilization, and a mystery that puzzled explorers for centuries. Who built this incredible city? How did they construct enormous stone structures without modern tools? And why was the city eventually abandoned? This is the fascinating story of Great Zimbabwe, the lost city that became one of Africa's greatest achievements. In present-day Zimbabwe lies one of the most important archaeological sites in African history. Known as Great Zimbabwe, this ancient city was once the center of a powerful kingdom that controlled trade, wealth, and influence across southern Africa. At its height, thousands of people lived within and around its impressive stone walls. Yet for centuries, many outsiders refused to believe that Africans had built it. The truth, however, tells a much more remarkable story. The birth of a civilization. Around the 11th century, communities in southern Africa began establishing settlements in a region rich in natural resources. The land provided fertile soil for farming. Cattle thrived on the grasslands. And nearby gold deposits created opportunities for wealth. Over time, local leaders gained power and influence. As trade expanded, so did prosperity. A great city began to emerge. The city's most famous feature was its architecture. Builders constructed enormous stone walls using carefully shaped granite blocks. What makes these structures extraordinary is that they were built without mortar. The stones were stacked with remarkable precision. Some walls reached more than 10 meters in height. The Great Enclosure became one of the largest ancient structures in sub-Saharan Africa. Even today, visitors marvel at the engineering skills of its builders. Great Zimbabwe was more than a collection of buildings. It was the political and economic heart of a thriving kingdom. Kings ruled from the city. Elite families lived within protected areas. Craftsmen produced beautiful goods. Farmers and herders supported the growing population. At its peak, historians estimate that as many as 20,000 people may have lived there. The kingdom's wealth came largely from trade. Gold mined from surrounding regions traveled through trade networks connecting Africa to the Indian Ocean. Merchants exchanged gold, ivory, and other goods for imported products. Archaeologists have discovered glass beads, ceramics, and other items originating from distant lands. These discoveries reveal that Great Zimbabwe participated in international trade centuries before European colonization. Trade routes linked Great Zimbabwe to coastal cities along East Africa. From there, goods reached places as far away as Arabia, Persia, India, and China. The kingdom became wealthy through these connections. Its rulers controlled valuable resources and important trade networks. Great Zimbabwe stood at the center of a global economy. When European explorers later encountered the ruins, many refused to believe Africans had built them. Some claimed the city had been constructed by foreigners. Others invented elaborate theories involving distant civilizations. But modern archaeology tells a different story. Evidence overwhelmingly shows that Great Zimbabwe was built by the ancestors of the Shona people. It was an African achievement, a masterpiece created by African engineers, builders, and leaders. Around the 15th century, Great Zimbabwe began to decline. Historians believe several factors may have contributed. Population growth placed pressure on resources. Trade routes shifted. Political changes occurred. Over time, the city's importance diminished. Its population gradually moved elsewhere. The once thriving capital was eventually abandoned. Centuries later, the ruins remained. Silent stone walls stood as reminders of a lost civilization. Archaeologists began studying the site and uncovering its history. Their discoveries transformed our understanding of Africa's past. Great Zimbabwe became a symbol of African achievement and ingenuity. Great Zimbabwe remains one of the greatest architectural and cultural achievements in African history. Its builders created a magnificent city. Its rulers established a powerful kingdom. Its merchants connected Africa to global trade networks. Though the city eventually fell silent, its legacy endures. Today, Great Zimbabwe stands as a reminder that Africa's history is filled with remarkable civilizations whose stories deserve to be told. And among those stories, few are as fascinating as the story of the lost city of stone. If you enjoyed this story, Subscribe to Untold African Stories and join us as we uncover more forgotten kingdoms, legendary leaders, and hidden chapters of African history.